Hey everybody, hope you guys doing all right. So, I've had a feeling this particular organization, the United Nations, has been isn't up to the best of intention. Doesn't have the best intentions for humanity at heart. In fact, I think that they quite possibly could have quite literally nefarious intentions, and they could be then also be going along with this whole NWO movement of appearing as the saviors when in fact they are the ones who are perpetuating a lot of the conflict, and they only come in after the conflict has already been created by their means as the saviors to help gain the people's trust and also control over them, because by doing so, when they come in, they're going to come in with a certain set of methods, procedures, and products which they offer to the peoples of that particular situation who are in some type of a detrimental catastrophic event. And being in that desperate state, it's very likely that the peoples will accept their offer and use their products and methods and procedures, therefore essentially selling themselves out. That's just a theory that I got. So anyway, let's just read about the United Nations here. The United Nations, UN, is an intergovernmental organization whose stated purpose are to maintain international peace and security, develop friendly relations among nations, achieve international cooperation, and serve as a center for harmonizing the actions of nations. It is the world's largest international organization. The UN is headquartered in New York City in the United States, but with certain extraterrestrial territorial, privileges. And the organization has other offices in Geneva, Nairobi, sorry if I mispronounced that, Vienna, and The Hague, where the International Council of Justice is headquartered. So the UN was established after World War II with the aim of preventing future world wars. Well, with what's going on in the news today, it doesn't look like they've been all that successful, and I think part of the problem is because I don't really believe that this particular organization, it may have been founded with this intent, to help the world. That may have been one of the founding things, like America was founded with a lot of good things, but it's turned into a lot of bad things. But I think as time has shown, and because they are still not talking about hemp, and there's just tons of ways to solve these problems that they say they're aimed at solving, yet I'm not really seeing these problems being solved in the way that I feel they could be solved, leads me to believe that perhaps their intent isn't actually to help solve the problems, but to appear as the solvers and the saviors, when in actuality they're just there to, essentially be that for when the system falls. And they're going to do whatever they can, whatever little bits they can, to make people believe that they really are here to help and that this is all they can do, when in actuality there's a lot more they could do. These people receive $15 billion a year, and their only job is to help out the planet. I mean, they don't have to make profit, they don't have to make products, they don't have to make revenues and all these types of things. They're literally given money to perform their job, and essentially they're failing at it. So I'd love to help them. If they're open to help and open to suggestion and open to alternative ways of doing things, I'd love to help out. But until I see that desire for help and a need to change, because based on the fact that we're on the precipice of World War III, it goes to show this organization's intent to end world wars is not working well. They need help. So I'd love to offer my services to help this organization do what they have declared themselves with the intention of wanting to do. Sorry, let's move on here. It was established after World War II with the aim of preventing future world wars, and succeeded the League of Nations, which was characterized as ineffective on April 25th of 1945. 50 nations met in San Francisco, California for a conference and started drafting the UN Charter, which was adopted on June 25th of 1945. The Charter took effect on the 24th of October 1945 when the UN began operations. The organization's objectives, as defined by its charter, include maintaining international peace and security, protecting human rights, delivering humanitarian aid, promoting sustainable development, and upholding international law. At its founding, the UN had 51 member states. As of 2023, it has 193, almost all of the world's sovereign states. And in the Bible, doesn't it talk about there's some type of particular entity or character that's going to appear with the promises of peace? To appear with the promises of peace, when in actuality they are the exact opposite. So I'm saying this could be them. I'm not sure if it is totally, completely, because I haven't done a lot of studies, but what I've heard from various sources, that they don't have the best of agendas on their heart. It's just what I've heard, and based on what's going on with the world, things seem to correlate along that particular avenue. But I'm going to be doing more information. I'm also going to reach out to them with positive intentions and good ideas to help them achieve their own self-declared goals. So the organization's mission, again, is to preserve world peace. Was complicated in its early decades due to part to the. I mean, it's complicated. I mean, it's world peace, bro. You're dealing with a species that's been killing each other for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Of course, I mean, just see when they add stuff in like that. To me, that's making it like that's me. To me, that tells me that they're trying to give themselves an excuse to why it's not as effective as it should be. When it's like, well, dude, your whole thing is to prevent wars, and you're saying that it's become more complicated because there's a war. But it's like, you already know about this. Like, that's your whole MO, is to deal with people in wars. So this should not complicate you. This is just a challenge that goes along with your given and chosen field of intent and aim and goal, is to deal with wars. So this war that you're saying is complicating your mission should just be another challenge you need to get over, and stop using it as an excuse to add to reasons why things have not been so successful. That's why I feel they put it in there. I could be wrong, but that's just what my intuition is telling me right now. So, Cold War tensions that existed between the United States and the Soviet Union and their respective allies. Its mission has included the provision of primarily unarmed military observers and lightly armed troops charged with primarily monitoring, reporting, and confidence-building roles. UN membership grew significantly following widespread decolonization in the 1950s. Since then, 80 former colonies have gained independence, including 11 trust territories that had been monitored by the Trusteeship Council. By the 1970s, the UN's budget for economic and social development programs vastly exceeded its spending on peacekeeping. After the end of the Cold War in 1991, the UN shifted and expanded its field operations, undertaking a wide variety of complex tasks. Let me say this too. Now, for most of the people involved in this organization, like some of the lower people, like just that, I do think a lot of people do join this organization, like the Peace Corps. I want to go into that organization too, with the intent to truly help. So, like, my message of like being kind of mad and irritated is not geared towards them. My heart goes off to people that really join these type of organizations with a true desire to want to help. That's beautiful, pure, and a very humane thing to do. So I love to see that. It's the people that are in control of the curriculum and the methods and the procedures of these organizations that I'm irritated with. So I just want to make that clear. So, all right, I think I'm going to stop it there, and I'll be doing a little bit more research here and there, perhaps, and if anything else pops, then I'll share with you guys. But I've already gotten a pretty good, clear picture of what their organization is and what their intent is, and I already have ideas of my own that I want to help cultivate into a more clear point, and then share with them, and hopefully, maybe develop some type of relationship with some type of a member of this organization to try to help them achieve their goal a little bit better. So, all right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.